Hello everyone, this is Sharun here from 24/7 Techie, and in this video we will be comparing the LeEco, LETV or whatever you would like to call it, LE2, Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. So the LETV, LeEco, LE2 and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 are the Indian retail units, and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 is imported from China. But in this video we will be comparing these three phones. So first of all, a physical overview. So at the right of the phone, the button configuration of all three phones are exactly same. The volume rockers and the power button to the right, and all three phones have metallic keys, so that is pretty good. At the bottom of the phone we have some changes over here. So at the top we have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4, which has two grills this time, and in the two grills, one is for the microphone, one is for the speaker. The LE2 in the middle has two grills, one is for the microphone, one is for the speaker, but have a USB Type-C port. And for the Redmi Note 3 we have a micro USB charging port and a primary microphone, and the speaker is at the back of this. Other side, for the SIM trays we have the same trays configuration, but Redmi Note 3 and the Redmi Note 4 has hybrid SIM card slots compared to LeEco LE2, which has dual SIM card slots, so no micro SD card option over here compared to Redmi Note 3 and Redmi Note 4, which has an hybrid. And if you come to the thickness of the phone, do remember that LE2 in this video is having a tempered glass applied, so do add about 0.5 mm to it. So as we can see clearly that the Redmi Note 3 is one of the thickest phone in this comparison. So now we compare the Redmi Note 4 with Redmi Note 3. Minute difference, but there is definitely difference, as we can see by the readings as well, and in the images in front as well. But otherwise, do look at the chamfered edges on the Redmi Note 4, those also looks pretty good. And when we compare the Redmi Note 4 with the LE2 with a tempered glass, and we can clearly see a little bit of the space between the desk and the phone. And at the top of the phone we have the IR blasters on all three phones, a 3.5mm headphone jack on the both Xiaomi phones, and no 3.5mm headphone jack on the LE2. So it is a CDLA phone. CDLA is continuous lossless digital audio, a technology made by LeEco. It is a other name for no headphone jack, USB Type-C audio. We have the secondary noise cancelling microphone for the Redmi Note 3 and the Redmi Note 4 on the top as well. For the LE2 we have it at the back. So these are the specs of the phone and the backs of the phone as well. So the Redmi Note 4 is the only phone in this comparison which has a full metal body, no plastic at all. Antenna bands, yes, but no plastic at all. Is also running on Helio X20 5.5 inch full HD screen. It's a 2.5D glass, 3GB RAM, 64GB of internal storage, hybrid SIM card slot, 13 megapixel camera and 4100 mAh battery, compared to Redmi Note 3 Snapdragon 650 and LE2 with Snapdragon 652. Otherwise same specifications, 5.5 inch full HD screens, 3GB RAM, 32GB internal storage. Redmi Note 3 has hybrid SIM card slot, whereas LE2 has no SD card slot, so only a dual SIM card slot, 16 megapixel camera. The LE2 has a 3000 mAh battery, which is fast charging equipped. So the only phone in this comparison, Redmi Note 3 has 4050 mAh battery as well. So at the front of the phone, all three phones are sort of identical, backlit LEDs, 5.5 inch full HD screens, but I can definitely tell you that Redmi Note 4 with the 2.5D glass and the black finish, so I bought the grey one which has a black front, is looking amazing. You get a similar color in the Redmi Note 3 as well, but not in LE2. All three are running on their own stock UIs, and but the Redmi Note 3 hasn't really got the Marshmallow update for the stable one. This is for the stable one. For the developer one it has a Marshmallow update, but for the stable one it is still running on Lollipop. On the other two, both are running on Marshmallow stable. A very small difference compared to MIUI and EUI. The storage point of view, Redmi Note 4 is 64GB, Redmi Note 3 is 32GB and LE2 is 32GB. There is a 64GB now launched, but it is not available online. It is an offline sort of mobile, which is priced around 14 to 15,000 Indian rupees. But in this we are talking about these three phones, so 32GB, 32GB and 64GB. And in the RAM point of view, after using it for a while, all three mobiles have 3GB of RAM. With the Redmi Note 3 you get around 1.5GB of RAM free, or after using it on a daily basis. Redmi Note 4 is similar, and LE2 it's about 1GB. So a little bit of difference, but RAM management on all three phones are pretty good. And in the camera UI point of view, all three phones can record full HD from the front camera, the back camera. LE2 is the only one who can record good quality 4K. Redmi Note 3 can also record 4K, but not in very good quality. Redmi Note 4 can't record. Manual settings are also a little bit better on the LE2 compared to Redmi Note 3 and Redmi Note 4. So here are some camera samples. Most of the camera samples are in the artificial light, low light actually. And LE2 actually impresses a lot. LE2 impresses me a lot. And Redmi Note 4 was a disappointment. Redmi Note 3 is also not really that great. LE2 impresses me a lot in this. Here's a screen comparison, and we toggle some images in front of you. And we can see LE2 has deep blacks. Redmi Note 4 has a little bit better screen quality compared to other two, but Redmi Note 4 has a little bit better screen quality than other two. But Redmi Note 3 is at the third position. LE2 and Redmi Note 4 are sort of a tie between first and second. So Redmi Note 3 is still lagging behind. So in this we will be doing a benchmark of these phones. This is sort of the gaming test. All three phones can run all the games flawlessly, no lag, nothing. But we will actually be doing a stress test. The Redmi Note 3 with Snapdragon 650, LE2 in middle with Snapdragon 652, and Helio X20 on the Redmi Note 4. So after the first benchmark, the Redmi Note 4 had 82,000 score, the LE2 has 72,000, and the Redmi Note 3 has 68,000. Pretty impressive scores, but we will do a stress test. We'll do an benchmark again. We'll quickly do it. I fast forwarded most of the part, and these are the results. So 80,000 for the Redmi Note 4, LE2 got 71,000, and 68,000 for the Redmi Note 3. Not a huge difference from the first benchmark to second benchmark, but the major difference will come from the third benchmark. So this is the third benchmark, and Redmi Note 4 falls apart. 63,000, LE2 still over 70,000, and Redmi Note 3 also falls a little bit, comes around 63,000. So third benchmark does that. Fourth benchmark, last and final, and 62,000 for the Redmi Note 3, 67,000 for the LE2, and 55,000 for the Redmi Note 4. There were no heating issues for all three phones. Actually the LE2 and the Redmi Note 3 were getting a little bit warm compared to Redmi Note 4. So there is heavy throttling on the Redmi Note 4 compared to heating. So what they have gone with a little bit of throttling compared to heating. So that could be a good decision, but there is heavy throttling with 55,000. And when we talk about the in-hand feel of the phones, these are exact stats regarding the phone's length, width and height. So at 155mm, the Redmi Note 4 is a little bit taller compared to Redmi Note 3, about 1mm, but the width of the two phones, the Redmi Note 3 and the Redmi Note 4, are exactly same, 76mm. But the thing comes over here is the LE2. So LE2 has gone with a longer phone, 151.1mm, but a very narrow phone compared to Redmi Note 3 and Redmi Note 4, 74.2mm. And when we talk about the thickness, 8.35mm, 8.65mm and 7.5mm for the Redmi Note 4, Redmi Note 2 and LE2 respectively. And if we compare the weight of the phones, here is where LE2 again wins. So 175 grams for the Redmi Note 4, 164 grams for the Redmi Note 3 and 153 grams for the LE2. That is also impressive. Yes, the battery on the LE2 is smaller, 3000 mAh, but overall in-hand feel of the phone is much better because it actually weighs less. Screen to body ratio is a little bit better, and the thickness is also less. Fast charging equipped LE2 actually makes a little bit more sense, but the 4000 mAh battery is definitely better. And in the battery life point of view as well, the Redmi Note 3, the Redmi Note 4 performs equally. Both phones are great at battery life, over 7 hours of screen on time with medium to heavy usage. It might fluctuate up and down depending on your usage. For me it was 7 hours, about 7 hours, and for the LE2 it was around 4.5 hours to 5 hours. It will last you for a day or so, but it won't give you a very good battery life compared to the Redmi Note 4 and Redmi Note 3. So overall, in conclusion, the Redmi Note 4 is actually pretty decent, but it is not a worthy upgrade. Cameras are a little bit disappointing. The build quality is amazing, and the fingerprint sensor is fast. The screen quality is good. Yes, a 2.5D glass looks good, but it actually has comes with a little bit of issues like tempered glass not fitting and all that stuff. And I can definitely say you that all those guys who have been actually waiting for the Redmi Note 4 to come to India, but it doesn't really make that big of a sense because it is not a major upgrade. The cameras aren't really that great, and except for build quality, I really didn't find anything major improvement in the Redmi Note 4 compared to Redmi Note 3. Xiaomi has done a great job with Redmi Note 3 with Snapdragon 650 and all that stuff. Yes, if you would like to see the Redmi Note 4 in India, I would really like to see it with an upgraded Snapdragon 650 processor. Hopefully a Snapdragon 653 or anything which has not yet been announced at the time of making this video. And the second thing, a camera upgrade is a much needed over here because I was not really impressed with the camera of the Redmi Note 4. So thank you guys for watching this video. This was Sharun here from 24/7 Techie comparing the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 with the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4 and the LE2. And do hit the like button, do share this video, and do subscribe to the channel. If you have anything you would like to share with us, any comments, any suggestions, any story, anything, do hit us in the comments below and we'll definitely get in touch with you. And I would really like to see you in my next video. Till then, see ya. Thank you very much, guys.